Hey guys, welcome back to the What You Saying podcast. We're here again with another fresh episode. I'm joined today by my boys Jack and James. What you saying, Jack?
How's it going? Thank you guys for coming again. Made it through the first episode, so either you're here by accident or you enjoyed it, so we'll just keep it going.
Yeah, so who's on your team today, Jack?
So we got my good friend Joe over here, who I met in the beautiful city of Coventry.
Yes, we did indeed.
And we had a pretty good time with a few friends over there, but that's how we know each other. And now we're here getting not quizzical, but something on those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Got anything to say, Joe, for yourself?
Yeah, just happy to be on the podcast, and ready to get started.
Yeah, you're one of our biggest fans, actually, I heard. So you're welcome. And then I've also got Ricky, my good friend Ricky over here. How we doing, Ricky?
Good, mate.
I was going to come up with a really funny fact about how we met, but I'm just going to skip that.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I'm over it.
We
I'm
met
over
on
it.
Discord.
Yeah. We
8
met
PM
on
sharp.
Discord, actually. We had a really good time. But yeah.
Cool.
You got anything to say? What you saying? Anything to say for yourself?
Not really.
Ah, fair enough.
There we go.
Man
Over
of
to you,
few
Trent.
words. Yeah, right. That's team one. And joining us on team two, I'm here with James. What you saying, James?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, it's good to be back. We had a great run last week, and yeah, looking forward to doing number 2.
Yeah, me too. So what's your team saying?
So today I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. His name is Jamie, but we call him Scotch, so don't get it wrong. Scotch, what are you saying?
How's it going, James? What are you saying? Did I do it right?
You did good, man. That's good.
Thanks.
That's all we needed.
Thanks. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can I go
See
now?
you later. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Nah, I'm good. I'm happy to be here. This is a lifelong ambition of mine. Yeah, and I just can't express my gratitude.
Good to have you here.
Thanks.
And we've also got did a bit of researching on Craigslist and posted an ad, and I found the best liar I could find. Wilf, what are you saying?
What is up, you guys? Hi, yeah, I'm good. My heart is racing at 10 million miles per hour. I'm
That's all
sweating.
good. Have you had any caffeine today?
About 3 cups of coffee, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that would explain it.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. First up, we have Jack, the Truther Collie.
Don't know if I'm ready for this.
What you saying, Jack?
During a roast battle with my mother, I made her cry.
All right, what are we saying, James?
Yeah, that's something that could happen. I want to know, how long were you in this roast battle before she shed her first tear?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think about
Where
what
was
it
it?
was.
Yeah.
It was about it was like when I came back from New Zealand in that break, and I was back home for a bit, and yeah, so it was a bit of back and forth, a couple shots being fired both directions. We're having a couple drinks as well, so obviously naturally the further it progressed, the sloppier it got. And yeah, so it was a couple light jabs at the start, like my mum would be saying, I wish your dad wore protection, and then
Oh, no.
so I thought, nah, bun that, we're gonna step this up a bit, and then yeah, and it went on for probably a good 10 minutes, and then I delivered the killing blow, which was it's pretty ridiculous, honestly. I feel so bad. I don't even want to say it. I said that it was a bit of a compound one, right? So I said that first of all, my dad raised me better, which she didn't like at all, and then and then secondly, I said she was the reason I left to go to New Zealand, and that struck a nerve because she was pretty emotional when I left, so that struck a nerve, and that ruined the evening, to say the least.
That doesn't strike me as particularly. I don't know. If I was a mother, I don't feel like that would make me cry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so a bit of banter, you know. Surely your mum would be, take some banter.
Can I ask a potentially dark question?
Go for it. This is. It's already light enough, isn't it? So.
Are your parents still together?
Oh yeah. If anything, these kind of experiences, make those kind of relationships stronger.
They bring you close. Yeah, I have heard.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Was anyone in the room when this was going down? Was anyone like, Jack, you should probably stop insulting your mother now? Or was everyone
Yeah,
like...
my mum said that to me, actually.
Wow.
But no, it was just my family, my brother, my sister, my mum, my dad, and yeah.
Your entire family was in
my
the
dog
room.
as well.
Yeah, it was only you and your mother who were locked into this roast battle.
Yeah, so my sister had a roast battle with my dad before. We were like taking in turns because obviously it was a bit of a viral
This
thing.
was like a
going on.
family event. Then you all agreed to have a roast, a roast battle.
This is a
with each other.
family
roast night. Yeah.
Everyone's
Thursdays.
clapping for the NHS at 8 and Jack's having a roast battle.
Yeah, we're just going to town. But no, so like we were just like, I guess it was just we were just drinking and it just started happening, and I think we showed our parents like a couple roast battle videos.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, and then we were just like, obviously, just like, oh, okay, maybe we'll just try and give this a crack. And my brother went in on my dad, and my sister, sorry, and my brother went in on my dog. My dog is just going nuts at my dog's face, and my dog was just sat there.
That's a war crime.
Yeah,
The dog can't defend itself.
What did you like? What was the vibe in the room when she just started crying? Did you like say, "Oh, mum, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you like that"?
Yeah. Well, solemn is a word I'd use to describe the
Did you get sent
environment.
to your room?
Did I get sent to my room? I would have been like 21, 20. So
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I went straight to my room. I'm now at an age where I can respect my own mother.
I mean, how much was she crying? Like, was it like a few tears, or was she properly sobbing? Or
I don't know. She obviously started a bit, and then went to the bathroom for a bit of privacy, and then I think, and then it kind of subsided after that. But it was definitely
Tragic.
not great.
Did like is this something you do frequently now after this first rap battle? Rap battle. Wow.
Rap battle, yeah, we're just bars.
Have you moved on to rap battles now?
Yeah.
No, after that, it was definitely a unsaid. We don't need to talk about this, and like we don't need to do it again because we kind of got it out of the way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe it was like built up tension over like you being in New Zealand and stuff. Maybe it all just came out that evening.
Yeah, that's definitely part of it. Like I'd just come back home, and we're like, it was sweet for like the first couple of weeks, and then you start arguing every now and then, and yeah, it's just. Yeah, it kind of gets a bit tense at some
spiraled out
points.
control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's it.
Did you apologise afterwards?
Yeah, but very half-heartedly. It wasn't very. I probably didn't do it well enough.
It was like a sorry. You now know the truth, Mum.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you can't handle the truth. That's it.
Is this something that she like frequently brings up again? You know how mothers like to, arm themselves.
Yeah. When there's family guests, she loves to bring it up. Of course, like. If you have the slightest dig at her, she'll be like, "Yeah, but what about that time you said this in that roast battle?" And I was like, "Well, it's a roast battle. I'm not just going to sit there and like, compliment you."
All right, what are we thinking then, James's team?
Yeah, I think this happened.
I think it's believable completely.
Yeah.
I want to believe it, but I don't. I can't believe that someone would cry over that comment.
Yeah, it's true, but I don't know. Was it just that comment, or was that the comment that tipped her over the edge, or was it like building up?
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, it was like 10, 15-minute exchange of various comments, and that was the last one because of what happened. Like we weren't going to start. Like, just all right. Anyway, where were we?
I think crying is quite extreme, and also 10 minutes of just like going back and forth is quite a long time.
That seems excessive to me as
But
well.
like, after a few drinks.
Yeah,
that happens.
It is something.
A few drinks.
Like,
that was like with my sister talking to my dad as well, including that 10 minutes. It was just like the whole 10 minutes was the whole family just going nuts.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
All right,
My
what are we
my
saying,
dog
James?
just taking it.
Well, should we make a vote? Wolf, what are you saying?
I'm saying
Truth.
it's true.
Yeah. I'd say truth. Okay.
Oh,
Sorry, Scotch.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. So James's team has said
yeah.
truth. Jack?
Nah, it's a lie. Come on, guys. I respect my mum way more than that. Are you
Come
kidding?
on. I
So what-
can't believe it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
mothers,
believe that you
please,
listen to
please.
Wolf.
Do not insult me.
Of all people.
Oh, sorry.
Cool. So that is 1 point to Jack's team. Congratulations,
Well
Jack.
done.
Way.
Honestly, I
First
was
point
trying to
episode
come up
two.
with. I was trying to come up with the insult that like pushed her over the edge. I couldn't even think of anything. 'Cause
Yeah,
I know she's going to
can
listen
do
to
it.
this as
I
well.
hesitated there.
That was a weak
I never know if
insult.
that's a
Did
bluff or
well
not,
stall
so I
that.
don't want to.
Oh man.
Also, who doesn't apologise to their mum after making them cry?
Yeah, I was thinking that. Just go sobbing in the bathroom and you're just laughing your head off.
I mean, it does happen.
Oh man, yeah. It was definitely a lie. I don't know why I said truth. Sorry, boys.
All right.
You know what?
So that was a lie from Jack. Next up, James Allen. What you saying, James?
So I used to listen to a song from the Inception soundtrack every night before I went to bed.
Interesting.
Well, what song?
I can tell you the song. It was. This song was
Frantically
time.
frantically
Time.
googling.
It was time. The song's called Time.
Can you hear mouse clicking?
Hey,
By
can
Hans
you
Zimmer.
just remind me how that goes again?
Duh, duh,
I can't tell if he's cutting out.
no, it's the dramatic pause.
That could
okay.
be an Inception song, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I know the one you're talking about. To be honest.
Any deep drone sound is probably from Inception.
Yeah, and it's
Also,
great to
any-
fall
the
asleep to
Star
as
Wars
well.
sound.
Any
Yeah,
deep drone
exactly.
sound.
So, James,
Yes.
so how comes you're listening to it before bed? Like, why are you listening to it every night?
I think I just like seen Inception, and I think as someone that studied film, or well, actually, when I'd seen Inception, I was kind of not knowing like what I want to do at university, kind of thing. And this film was the sort of film that changed the way I looked at other films. Kind of like gets you thinking and stuff.
Yeah,
And just the
sure.
soundtrack along with it was very good and got me into like looking into soundtracks of films, and then I just fell in love with the soundtrack of Inception, and then this one song was just great. And then every night I just lie in bed and always listen to that song before I went to bed.
Nice.
Nothing more to it other than I love the song.
I can believe that because I listened to a podcast listening, to fall asleep. I can't, sometimes you don't want just silence, so I can believe that. But the same, so how long is this song then?
Oh, the song is pretty long. Maybe like 5 or 6 minutes.
Can you fall asleep in 6 minutes?
Yeah. Sometimes I would like play the song and then just like kind of doze off and then suddenly wake up and it would be like just ending the song. So I would fall asleep pretty fast sometimes.
And Leonardo DiCaprio's standing in your room looking at you.
Did it ever make you have a dream within your dream, within that dream?
Oh yeah, so many
Nightmare waiting
times.
to happen.
Yeah.
I see.
Is it something you'd actually be lying in bed listening to, or would you sort of be like, getting into your pajamas or something?
No, I'd be fully brush my teeth, like in my pajamas, in bed, lights off, like ready to go. So if I'm feeling tired or if the song's ended, I can just pull my headphones out, snore away.
It's quite a
Dream away.
dramatic. It's quite a dramatic way to fall asleep.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely that would wake you up, if anything.
And it not on repeat, just once. That's it.
Well, you know what? I would put it on repeat, and if if I hadn't fallen asleep, I would just sometimes I would fall asleep and like miss the best part of the song, and then I'd like wake up to like it ending, and I thought, oh man, I can't go to sleep now because I've missed the best part of the whole song. It's what I'm doing here. So I have to like listen to the song again.
I see.
Did you not
I
get
see.
sick of the song? Like sometimes when you listen to songs too much, you start to dislike them. Was that not the case for this one?
Nah, not this song. It did go on for a while, like me doing it every night for a long time. I'd say like 3 months.
Wow.
Also, that song's got like a. I think if I'm thinking of the right one, it's got like a climax, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that really intense to like just be trying to play something?
Yeah. I guess
Like a
that's
full
what I was
orchestra.
into. You know, I was going
Yeah,
through a
fair
phase
enough.
maybe.
Just straight up vibe into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just love Inception.
I see. Boys
Alright.
on my team, have you got any questions to see if we can crack down on this guy here? What do you reckon?
The thing is, normally I would say that it must just be an absolute lie, but I can agree sometimes that I listen, like sometimes when I'm on long haul flights, I will listen to like dance house music and I'll be able to fall asleep to that.
Yeah.
That is not
That's quite a
normal.
specific situation, Joe.
I'm not really sure how that's relevant, but
You're a bit of a jet
Very
setter.
different.
I'm saying, but like climax, I can understand. Like if like,
I
I
can
feel
understand the
like
climax. You can get behind it.
Yeah.
it does put me to sleep.
All right, cheers, Joe. I don't think we're any closer to figuring this one out, though.
I do actually have a question.
Yeah.
James
Yeah,
Allen,
go for it. Yeah.
because you know how like when you do something for like so long, you begin to associate something else with it. So because you fall asleep to this song, does that mean if you were to watch Inception and this song were to come on in the movie, would you potentially like just fall asleep?
it's a good
I think-
question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think not so much fall asleep, but I would imagine just. I think like when I was listening to this song, it would be the time of reflection. So I'd be listening to this song and have all these deep thoughts and be like, oh, what do I want to do with my life, or like what do I want to do tomorrow or something. So if I ended up watching the film and that song then came on, I would be like really dramatic and wouldn't be able to concentrate on the film because I'd just be thinking about all those thoughts that I had that night before or something.
You kind
Yeah,
of
it'll spin you
Pavloved
out.
yourself with the song there.
Yeah.
In about 10 years, that'll trigger like an existential crisis or something.
Yeah, badly, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what are we thinking then, Jack?
Well, I'm thinking I've known James for a long time, right? And I know he likes this film. Okay. I also know that he can play that song on piano.
Ooh,
I'm pretty sure.
useful information.
But yeah, useful information. However, you know, you can turn a small truth into a lie very easily, you know, by, you know, adjusting some facts and saying that song he played on piano he fell asleep to every night. Like that's that's pretty different. So I'm gonna lean towards. I'm slightly towards true, but what do you boys think?
I'm thinking it's false. If he's a guy that's like into film and soundtracks, why is he not listening to the whole soundtrack? Why is it just this one
What?
song?
Yeah.
Where is it?
What particular about this song is just so amazing?
Just a good song.
Right. What
It's a
are you,
good
well, are
song.
you two gonna say true or false to this one yourselves? Like, if it was up to you.
I'd say false.
I mean, I'm more inclined to say false. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna go against the boys here. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go. That's a lie.
All right, James, was that true or was that a lie?
I absolutely loved Inception and I loved the whole soundtrack, but that one song really, you know, made me fall asleep every night. It was true.
Wow.
That is manic.
Yeah, that's
All
crazy.
right, that's a point to James's team.
Oh my God, I should have just stuck with it. I'm not listening to you boys. Come on.
yeah, that's well remembered with the like piano thing.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
playing that on
I can remember that song for sure. Like it was a banger. I never would
It
have
was a
fallen
banger.
asleep to it.
It was a banger.
But yeah.
All right, cool. Next up, we have Ricky. What you saying, Ricky?
For 2 years, I only ate rice, bread, and malt loaf.
And what was the last one? Sorry.
Malt loaf.
I'm not sure what that is.
MALT. I know the accent's probably hard.
No. What is malt loaf?
Malt loaf.
Malt loaf, isn't that like the saurine thing
Yeah, sorry. That's the brand.
in the yellow
Malt loaf
packet?
is the
Yeah.
thing.
I'm googling
Right.
this right now.
I've got a question. Why
Excellent question.
Just lazy, right? I was a teenager. It was like from like 14 to 16.
But that's when your mum makes you like nice food. I would expect this from like someone at university, maybe.
What?
So
No, well,
when
you got
you're-
a different mum, and your mum didn't do that. She'd make me the evening meal. And other than that, it was rice, bread.
I would like to talk to your mum about her parenting ethics, because letting your child eat, what was it, rice, malt loaf, and what was the final thing?
Love.
Brett.
Bread.
Love. Bread. I would be ashamed. Fuck your mum.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
We're going to fight now.
You should have a
This
roast
is the
battle.
mum hating podcast today. He's really helping those mums out there.
I'm with Will for this one. I've just looked up malt loaf, and there is no fucking way you lived off of that and rice and bread. How long did you say for? How long for?
2
That
years.
is
That's a
a bit of a
long
bitch,
time.
2
Yeah.
years. You
Did you
I've
combine
heard-
them to make one like super malt loaf
Yeah.
sandwich?
I watched this show, like American show called Survivor, and they literally eat just like rice every night, for like a month, and that's difficult.
But they didn't have the malt
Um,
loaf, bro.
Yeah, but those people
Yeah,
have
the
interesting
malt
loaf,
shows
they,
that
like,
eat
weigh it
malt
all out.
Malt
loaf.
loaf and
That
bread
yellow
on top of
puppy
that.
Malt
is
loaf
pretty
really
good.
brings it together.
Did you have was it just those three things? Like, could you add salt, pepper to it, sauce, ketchup?
Yeah,
like-
soy sauce in the
lovely.
rice all the time. But like that was the staple.
and how did
What
you
did-
make your rice? Were you like a
It was
rice cooker,
but
or
you know,
you were
like
on
the
hob?
Uncle Ben's microwave packets. I was
Oh
fucking
my
14.
God.
I was
the
making
easy way
rice.
out.
That must have been so expensive.
Uncle Ben's.
Every day
Yeah.
for 2 years. Uncle Ben's packet is like what? You're lucky if you get it for £1.
Yeah, they're on sale for like £1. Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
bear in mind, I'm almost 40, so this is like 15 years ago. 40, I'm almost 30.
You're always
Say, what the hell?
I was gonna say.
It's the malt loaf. It's eroded his brain.
Yeah, the malt life is like
The
Malt
malt
life.
life.
Malt life.
Oh, no.
it's
The
all
malt
about
life.
life, bro.
It's
It's all
infected
about
us.
malt life.
What I want to
Um,
know is, did you eat each of these items with every meal, or did you have like bread for breakfast, rice for lunch, and malt loaf for dinner?
Well, I didn't eat breakfast. And then my mum would make whatever meal she was making for the main meal. But if I wanted to eat other than that one meal a day, then there was just one little cupboard that was filled up with rice, bread, and malt loaf.
So you did still have
I just
extra
go
hands
there
in
and
the
get a
cupboard.
bit out and eat one.
What? There's a whole cupboard dedicated to your mum.
It's all like 8. There was like
Was it-
15 of each in there.
Wait, so you did?
Oh.
So your mum did like make you food, and you did eat that. But if you got
Yes.
peckish, you'd eat rice.
Well, yes.
Did you have anything with the rice? Or did you have like a rice sandwich or like a
Well,
rice malt loaf?
It wasn't just like
Yeah, did you ever
long
mix
grain
them
rice.
together?
It was like the Mexican spicy rice.
Oh yeah,
or
that's good. To be
Yeah,
fair.
that's the best one.
That's the best one.
I
Every day though.
Yeah,
Every
that's
day
the
the
best
same.
one, obviously.
Man. Well,
See-
I mean,
see, amigo.
What was-
I didn't believe you at the start, but then you said that you still ate other stuff.
Yeah, I thought. Didn't you say that you ate nothing but that for like 4 years?
Yeah, you said the only three things you ate.
However long it
The only
was.
three
Yeah.
things you ate were these three things, and then you were like, oh no, I did eat.
Well, that's hyperbole. It's like I'm not going to say 75% of what I ate was like.
It's good. It's a good point.
That sounds like a bad point to me.
Yeah, sounds like kind of like backtracking to me.
All right. Well, what happens if like, say you didn't have any rice or any malt loaf, and you only had bread, and you wanted to top up, and you went to the supermarket, right? And they didn't have either of those things. Like, what would the next best thing be? Like, what would you do?
I don't know.
Go to a different supermarket if they don't have those three
Yeah.
staples of the diet.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'd be worried if a supermarket didn't have bread stock.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Unless it was during the COVID-19 pandemic, that is.
Yeah. Well, luckily you managed to shake that addiction this year, right? So
Why malt loaf? That's what I want to know. Like the
It's
bread and the
alright.
rice, I
I hate
kind
malt
of
loaf.
get.
That is
but
the
why
black
malt
sheep
loaf?
of that trio.
No, but because it's filling and it's sweet, right? Everything else is savoury.
Oh, yeah, but it's so gross.
That's your
Grim.
opinion,
I don't
right?
like it at all.
Yeah.
I think all of it's great.
Do you still
And it's
eat
the-
those things?
Yeah, I don't even eat it with butter. I just get the whole malt loaf out and munch on it. Like,
Wow.
No, surely
not.
not.
That must
Like
be
you just
the
bite into the thing
driest
whole.
thing in the world.
You don't even cut yourself a
With a
slice.
drink.
You're saying you just bite into it.
Yeah. You eat all the hard bit round the outside, and then you got the soft mushy bit left in the middle.
Oh, man.
He knows so much about malt loaf. I'm
He
going
knows
to
his
say
malt
so.
loaf,
yeah.
Yeah, you
He's
got
Yeah.
practiced
Malt-
1,000
malt
plus
loaf,
hours
am
of
I
malt loaf.
Exactly.
All right, what are we thinking then, James? Truth or lie?
I thought at the start, big fat lie, but then now he said that he eats other things, and like that was kind of a snacky thing. I'm leaning towards the truth. What do you think, Wilf?
Like, I don't want to say truth. I don't want us to all say truth for it to be a lie, and then we'll go, of course it was a lie, because who the actual fuck eats malt loaf, rice, and bread for 2 years? So I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say false. So I win either way.
What do you think, Scotch?
I mean, first of all, I just want to say Wilfred lost us a point in the last round.
Oh,
and you asking him for his
okay,
opinion first.
Okay.
Man, there's no way that a man can sustain himself for like 2 years on those three things.
Yeah,
That's
but he said he ate other things as well.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, the original lie was false.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. The original. Yeah. So if we're going on the
You're poking
original
holes,
statement,
I see you're tactically.
We're going to win on the technicality.
original statement. I don't think. Yeah. We don't
Yeah.
think that you ate these three things. Yeah. False.
False.
Oh, is it? It's quick. Snap
Ricky,
decision.
was that true or was that false?
That was true.
No,
Yeah.
no.
In the original, when I told Trent that was true, I said I basically only ate. I didn't
Yeah,
say.
there's that
Yeah.
75% that we're looking
that's
for.
my fault.
Nice, I like
Did
that.
it for the entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I will take responsibility for that.
I mean,
one.
but to be fair, that's still ridiculous.
That is
Yeah.
To be fair,
And it didn't sustain a man. I weighed like 10 stone and was 6 foot when I was 16. Like I was nothing. You see my ribs, like
Are you a healthy adult now? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Are you okay?
Well, I'm the other way now. I'm a chunky boy.
Oh, malt loaf, man.
wow.
yeah.
All
I
right.
have dreams
Malt
about
loaf
it.
is great.
Nice.
I'm not having that.
As long as you were happy, man.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, so that ties up at 2-1. Jack 2, James 1. Cool.
Oh dear.
Next up, we have Wilf. What are you saying, Wilf?
Well, as a child, I thought I was controlled by ants.
Ants.
I really want to hear more about this.
Controlled. Define what you mean by controlled.
So,
Do you say ants?
yeah, ants as in the
Right.
little, like the
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
with Woody Allen, that one.
I can already visualize this.
So, yeah, I think I was probably about maybe between 4 and 7, I reckon. And I thought I was controlled by ants. So, like, I wasn't real. I was an ant colony.
I see. Was it like that SpongeBob episode where Plankton is in his brain, controlling him with like a joystick on his brain?
Yeah, basically exactly like that. So I was hollow.
He was a sponge.
I was full of ants.
Okay. And what age was this up to?
So maybe up to 7 years of age.
Mm.
And what gave you the realization that you wasn't filled with ants?
Well, there was a change in the narrative, you see, because I think when I got to about 6 years old, scorpions basically invaded my body and killed all the ants. So then I was controlled by scorpions.
Right.
I see where we're going.
This is filling me with more and more questions.
Ask away.
So how did this scorpion thing come about? Like, were you just walking along one day and then?
Maybe it had to do with my parents' divorce, maybe internalizing that. I think this has definitely got
Oh,
deep
wow,
meaning
yeah, we're getting
to
quite
it.
deep here.
Yeah,
The scorpions were my inner conflict
Wow.
See, I think the scorpions are bullshit, and it's actually true.
Oh, Ricky
What, you
calling
think
it
he's trying to
early.
put us off here, Ricky?
He's
You
going,
reckon he's
yeah,
trying to, like,
yeah.
really
I think
throw
he's
a
trying to make
spanner
it
in the works?
sound so ridiculous
You
that we say it's
think
false.
I thought that the inside of my body was made of earth and full of ants?
This is.
This honestly sounds like we've just got some like crazy smackhead hobo off the street.
Yeah.
Just brought him
I
onto
told you,
the
I found him on
podcast.
Craigslist.
Did anyone ever read the Beano?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Beano.
love Beano.
Yeah.
You know, there's that
Oh,
one.
the numbskulls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah. I was thinking more on the lines of like, you know, Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, where the guy, the big ants eat the dude.
That's just ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's a step too far.
And they all had hard hats on as well.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Right.
So, any more questions?
If this is true, this is the most absurd truth we've had out of all
Yeah,
of our
all
episodes.
of our episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what else to ask.
Right, let me
So,
do you
backtrack.
backtrack.
Actively remember this? Because I don't
Yeah.
actively remember anything from being.
It's
four.
one.
I
It's
remember
one of
what
my
you told me.
one of my best childhood memories is imagining that I was filled with ants.
That is one of your best childhood memories.
That and my two sisters. I used to stand between my two sisters, and they'd grab my arms and swing me, and we'd shout, "Beyblades!"
so that's unrelated to the ant thing, right?
That's unrelated to the ant thing.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
sure my bodily motion was controlled by the ants to enable me to jump up in the air. Sure.
With hard hats.
So yeah, ants with hard hats, earth tunnels within me, little computer consoles.
All right, I think I've heard enough.
All right.
What do we say, Jack?
Ricky, what do you reckon?
Oh, what do you say to that?
You say that's a lie. That's what you say.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's
I really
true,
want this to be true.
he's like put us off with some extra facts there. I think, you know.
What's your budget on this show? Can you get in some help?
Yeah. This man's got a fantastic idea. All right, are you saying no as well, Joey, to that
Yeah,
being
that's,
true?
I'm calling flat out bullshit on that.
Yeah. At least some part of it's got to be bullshit. So yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, that's a lie. Sorry, man. In my opinion.
All right, we're going with lie. What are we saying, Wilf?
That was 100% true.
Oh, motherfucker.
Oh, what?
Every single aspect of that. The hard hats, that is completely true.
I had a feeling that was true as well.
The scorpions.
Scorpions
The
as well.
scorpions were true.
So yeah, so I had ants with hard hats, and then what is the natural antagonist to an ant? Obviously,
scorpions,
a
of course.
scorpion.
An
Yes,
anteater, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, an anteater, a bit more problematic fitting that within my body.
One
I think I
anteater.
resorted
But scorpions,
to
that's fine, no
scorpions.
problem.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, I was growing. I was becoming a bit larger than I was when I was 4.
Ah,
What
fair
age
enough.
did you grow out of this? Do you
I
still
don't-
believe that there are ants inside of you?
No, of course not. Don't be
Oh,
daft,
it's just
Scott.
scorpions now.
Just-
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot that plot twist.
Cool.
Nice.
You had a real
Wow.
imaginative childhood.
Yeah, that was good.
It was pretty messed up.
All right, next up, we have Joe. What are you saying, Joe?
I once got kicked out of a club for hurting Ant and Dec's feelings.
For hurting Ant and Dec's feelings.
Yes, Ant
Jack.
and Dec's feelings. You know, from Saturday Night Takeaway.
From the bungalow. Oh no, that's Dick and Dom.
Nah,
Very different
From
people.
Biker Grove.
Wow. So, what club was this?
So this is
Wow.
actually in Coventry. They actually came to Casbah back in 2018, and yeah, so they did like a one like sort of feature. They were doing like a meet and greet, and yeah, I called Ant a massive spamhead, and yeah, he was not having it, and yeah, security pulled me out, and yeah, that was pretty much that. Like, he was really
Wow.
sensitive about his big forehead. Well, shall I say forehead, even?
Wait, so that was why you got kicked out, because you insulted his forehead.
Yeah, well, he's 5 head, yeah.
Right.
So technically, it wasn't Ant and Dec. It was just Ant, but yeah.
So who told him? Was the security guard there when they saw you assault him?
So basically, we all went up for lining up. It was me and a few of my pals, and then we went for a photo. And I was like, "Ant, you've got a massive forehead." And yeah, he was like, "What do you say?" And I was like, "Yeah, you've got a massive forehead." And then one thing led to another. And then it all got a bit angry. I don't know what it was on. I don't know. I heard in the news that he had quite a bit of drug issues. But yeah, one thing led to another, and then the security guards dragged me out, and then that was that.
Man, you didn't have to bring up the drug issues.
Yeah, that was a low blow.
If you're watching this,
calling
and
a man out.
This was
Oh, sorry.
before his.
If you're watching this, Sam, what are you
alcohol
doing? Why are you watching this?
What are you saying? Do you want to come on?
Come defend yourself. We'll get Joe back on.
there's what year was this?
It was 2018.
So was this like at the beginning of uni for you or something like that?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that's decent,
I
right?
actually came back it was on my placement year at uni, and I came back to see a couple of my mates, and then yeah, we went out in Casbah, and yeah, that's what happened.
And did you go to Casbah because like you knew that they were going to be there doing?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't specifically come down to go see them, but my friends told me about it, and we bought tickets at the door. We thought it would be a great laugh, and it was for about the 45 minutes we were there. Well, I don't know exactly how long it was, but it seemed like that.
So how many of you went to this place? You and your mates? How many of you were there all
Well,
together?
there was only four of us at first, and then we met up with a load of people. Like when we were out, because we went to a few pubs beforehand before we actually went into Casbah.
The big question is, did they like come with you when you got kicked out, or did they just leave you on your own?
Well, one of my friends did. The others were like, "Nah, fuck this." Like, yeah. So I was pretty annoyed with them, but yeah, like one of my mates, Jack, he was good. He stayed with me, so that was good.
Man,
Did any of your mates take Ant's side? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Why did you say he's got a big forehead?
No, I mean they're all just like, what the hell was happening, and they just thought like the whole scuffle happened, and I don't like, and then they just saw me getting dragged out, and then just like that was that really, and then obviously we met up after and was like, what the hell was that? That was just so ridiculous. Can't believe like that happened, and yeah.
Yeah, I think like getting kicked out for like saying a comment like that. It's quite.
Yeah.
But
Did you actually fight?
TV personalities like that have an inflated sense of ego, so I think that's definitely within the realm of possibility.
But surely they couldn't have like actually kicked him out of a club just for saying.
No,
I
reckon they could.
What were they doing there?
100%.
Were they just there signing stuff?
Yeah, they were literally just doing like a meet and greet. So essentially, they were just like standing in the corner. Like I don't know if you've ever been to Casbah, but it's like the whole main area when you come in. They were just there, and they had like a queue going all the way around, and yeah, essentially we all had to wait out, go up on stage, go up to see them. They were taking a few photos, had a quick little chat, and then you'd walk off, and then the next load would come through. It was pretty like quite a rush thing.
Did you have this on your mind for the whole when you saw them?
Well,
or was it just like a spare in the moment thing?
I didn't have it planned
prompted it?
until I really got up close and just saw how big his forehead was. Like, it just took me by surprise. I saw on TV, but I didn't realise how actually big his head was. Like, he's got a really massive forehead.
So you let him know, and
why would you tell him that? Like, if
Because
you
it
saw
just
somebody
came
on the
out. I
street
had
with a
quite a
massive
few
head,
drinks, and I'm quite a vocal person when I've had a few drinks. Like,
So you thought it would just be a bit of a laddie banter?
yeah, I thought it'd be a bit of
laugh it
banter, and
off.
it didn't play out well.
Did you apologize, or did you like cause a fuss with the security guard when they tried to kick you out, or were you just
why
like,
are you
yeah, fair
kicking me
enough?
out? I just said the guy had a big forehead. Like, it's not like I hurt him or anything.
What did they say anything to that, or did they just like
No,
do that thing
they
where they just
weren't
don't
having it. Like,
speak?
the guy weren't talking to me and just shut me out. And was like, and then,
Wait, he was just like, he's a dickhead. Get him out of here.
yeah, basically,
Get him out.
yeah. They literally, like, as soon as we got outside, they were like, right, you're not coming back in. And I was like, why? My friends are all in there. And they was like, no, you just have
The
to
homies.
go.
I wasn't I wasn't really convinced, and I've just gone and looked up Ant and Dec, and like Ant has got like a pretty big forehead as far as it goes.
He's got a big forehead, yeah.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards the truth. I think that is annoying that you'd get kicked out at like one comment, but like Will said, that just what security guards are like and stuff in clubs. They look for any reason to just kick people out.
Can I just ask? You said that like one thing, like you said he had a big forehead, right? And then one thing led to another. Do you mean like did you fight? Like was there fists being thrown?
Did you fight
No,
Ant and Dec?
That'd be different.
There was no fist being thrown. Like, let me just clarify. There was no fist being thrown. But he was just like, why are you saying that? I was like, and because I was drunk, I was like, because you've got a big forehead. and then the security guards literally just grabbed me and was like, right, just got in between us before anything happened. I don't know, like, we weren't confrontational or anything, but I guess they may have interpreted the way it was. And then, and then literally the security guards just dragged me and we just weren't having none of it. It was all very quick. And then before you know it, I was just taken outside.
What time was this, like, towards the end of the night? I know you said you weren't there for very long, were you?
No, it was literally, I'd say we probably got there about like 11ish, and like it was towards like, it was like midway through the night, and then we were only there for, I'd say like it would have been maximum an hour we were there. Like it wouldn't have been more than an hour. I'd say like 45 minutes to an hour. I wouldn't say longer than that. So
interesting.
I can believe this. Like the fact that he said he insulted his forehead like pretty quickly, and he has got a big forehead. Like that's making it believable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't deny that he said it, but like getting kicked out. But yeah, I guess I
was as shocked as you guys by it. Like.
Yeah.
Did you write a formal complaint?
It's a mean thing to say.
It is.
But
yeah, and the thing is with me, I say stupid things when I've had a drink, and it's just like the way it is.
I just think
Did you apologise at all?
All right. What are we thinking?
Did you apologise? You didn't apologise, did you? You just kind of walked away.
Before we decide, can you apologise to him now over podcast in case?
Oh yeah.
Well, and if you're listening, I'm so sorry for the night what occurred in 2018. But me calling you having a big forehead. I mean, I've got a big forehead myself. But yeah.
Thank you, Joe. The plot twist is you were just looking in the mirror.
Yeah, I mean, I sincerely apologise to you, and
you don't even know that it's happened yet, and you guys are getting to apologise to Anne.
Yeah. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
No one ever brought it up to me that I should apologise to him. So I mean, I need to say it now while someone else.
Someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a massive platform. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, I think you've heard our opinions, but I think we've all said it's the truth.
All right. So James's team is saying true. Joe, truth or a lie?
Sorry, guys. It is a big fat lie.
Hey.
I did get kicked out of a club for hurting a celebrity's feelings, but it wasn't Ant and Dec.
Yeah, so that's my fault. I got Dick and Dom confused with Ant and Dec after writing the lie about the ants controlling Will's body.
So I was actually controlled by Dick.
So it was the completely wrong lie.
So what was the like?
That was supposed to be a truth. I was impressed with the lie you made up. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's completely my fault. I'd say it's more Will's fault for thinking he was controlled by ants. But
sorry about that.
The ants have taken control of you, Trey.
So did you insult Dick and Dom then?
He did. He insulted Dick and Dom, but that's a story for another day.
That's believable.
Wow.
Yeah.
When have Ant and Dec ever gone to like a club to do
Ant and Dec are way too big
what?
for Casbar in Coventry.
Especially Casbar as well. Like, you'll get those people on like Love Island who trying to get fame whoring going around to like every single. Or Phil Mitchell. Phil Mitchell does love Casbar.
He does love
You know, Jack. You know, Paul Chuckle went to Moo-Moo's.
Who?
Paul Chuckle.
Oh my god, man! Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, he was just.
The Chuckle Brothers went to Casbar as well. Actually.
Yeah, the Chuckle Brothers do a tour.
See, that's the kind of caliber of celebrity we're talking
brother.
about here. Dick and Dom, not Dick and Dom, fuck's sake.
Exactly. It's an easy mistake to make.
And Dick have like a still got a good, strong career going. Like they don't need to go to some fucking
not
back alley
resorting
ass
to those lows.
club. Yeah.
All right, so that brings the score to 3-2 to Jack's team. So we need a point here for James.
That's where we like
On the
it.
Scotch.
Last up, we've got Scotch. What are you saying, Scotch?
Big S. I had a teacher who I mistakenly thought was called the Cat for years.
Right, as like as a name or as like a nickname that all the students kind of gave that person.
No, as a name.
The cat.
So not like Mrs. Cat, it was just
No.
the cat.
Yeah, like I honestly called this teacher the Cat for like to his face for years. And yeah.
It was a guy.
There's a dude as
Yeah.
well. Ooh.
Wow.
The cat.
What? At what point? At what point did this? Like, did you start calling? Yeah. Like, what?
Was
How?
he the fat cat, or
Sorry.
was he like the fat cat? Was he a big cat? Like what?
Joe, you
Wait,
didn't realise
what
he's
is
not
that?
actually a cat.
I just want to get
actually
no
a
more
cat.
details.
He is a
I'm trying to
teacher.
get more information about this guy and why he was the cat. Why you?
What
thought
was
he
his
the
actual
cat.
His actual name was Richard.
Of course.
Last
If
name.
you called your teacher.
At what point did you start calling him the cat?
Yeah, what kind of weird school did you go to?
Richard the cat.
Did he introduce himself as the cat, and then you just stuck with it while everyone else realised that he was the cat?
No. He introduced. He must have introduced himself as Richard, but for whatever reason, I mistakenly heard it as the cat.
Of course.
And
They do
it
sound
wasn't-
like it.
No
Yeah.
reasons for why you
similar.
would think he was called the cat.
Where does the animal, the cat, come from?
What do you mean? Like back then, it must have just
Like,
sounded.
did he?
It just sounded like Richard at the time,
Richard
right?
the
Oh,
cat.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You,
I like
you said
it.
you
So
called him
it
this
was
to his
my-
face. Like,
Yeah.
Did he not correct you when you called him the cat?
He enjoyed it.
Did he not say why you called him the
not
cat?
not that I remember.
Meow.
He was my like support teacher. He wasn't like a class teacher, so it was just me and him 1-to-1. But
seemed
no,
worse, I
he never
think,
corrected
yeah.
me. It was only till like years later, and I was just thinking back about it, and I was like, my god, his name wasn't the cat. It was like quite obviously Richard.
So when you were like talking to your friends or like whatever about, I got like a meeting with like the cat.
They're like, what the fuck are you on about? Stop, come on.
Well, yeah, like did they be
Yeah,
like,
good.
yeah, all right, man, all right, yeah,
Yeah, cool,
you
see
need
you,
that
Jamie.
meeting.
I mean, who at school ever says to their mates, "Yeah, I've got a meeting with this teacher"?
well, I got to go like
if
see,
I had a meeting
see
with
the
a
cat.
teacher, then yeah.
I don't ever remember talking to my mates about him.
Did you have any mates?
Was he real?
No.
Yeah,
You guys are the
did-
first
was
people
he
I've ever
actually
Was
spoken
it just like it was your version? Like he was actually a cat, like not ants.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was that.
Mr.
No.
Mistopheles.
The cat. Oh, I see. What did he teach?
Wow.
What was his subject? Oh no, he wasn't a teacher, was he? It was a support thing.
Yeah, he was a sport teacher, so we did like various different subjects.
Oh, I see.
It was like a plethora to
Mm.
like help me get better, basically.
Okay, and how long did this go for? How long was he the cat?
This was for the entire time I was at that particular secondary school. No, was it secondary
So,
school?
so you were in
No, it was
secondary school
primary
at the
school.
time.
No, it was primary school.
Okay.
Thank God.
And that was for like 2 years, I think.
Now that you're saying primary school, it's a lot more believable.
Yeah.
And I can actually kind of, I can kind of see how that might happen. I mean, it's a bit too far, but I can definitely see how that could be a thing.
Did you not talk to your parents about him?
Yeah,
You got
like did you
support?
not have like a teacher-parent meeting?
Yeah, no, because he was just my sport teacher. I had like a normal teacher who would teach other classes as well.
Yeah, he wasn't on the
Did
front
you
lines.
The
there?
parent-teacher conferences were with that. Yeah, but yeah, I did just call him the cat to my parents several times, and they never said anything, so they must have been like, oh yeah, he's just being fucking weird again.
They thought your school had just like a pet cat walking around supporting kids
Yeah.
who were like stressed out.
Yeah, I would
Cat
just
therapy.
disappear for like several like hours, during lessons, and they'd be like, oh, "Where's Jamie? Where's Scotch gone?" And I'd just be petting the cat.
Hanging out with a cat.
Yeah.
See, my lord.
All right, what are we thinking then, Jack?
Well, I think now that you switched it to primary school, it's definitely believable. But it's just like, sure, I feel like.
But then it's less believable that he's remembered it well enough to now know his name was Richard.
That's it. Yeah, you're right. It answers a couple questions, but opens a couple more. You know.
Scotch, how old are you, by the way?
God, I must have been like 9 or 10.
Oh, you could remember that now for sure. But also, the older you get, the less like you are to think someone's called the cat. So.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna personally. I think it's. Oh, this is really difficult. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
I generally think that because of the way he switched it from secondary to primary school, I just think it's a lie.
You think he slipped up there, and that was the
Yeah,
tail?
he's got his towel caught in between his legs.
Nice, I like that.
Oh, that was
Nice
good.
one,
That was
Joe.
good.
Lovely.
Yeah. Oh,
This is why we
You can come
invited
back
you, man.
again. Yeah.
Podcasting, guys. Yeah.
And Ricky, what you saying? What you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's false for the same reason.
All right, okay. I'll trust my teammates for the second time here. I'll go false. Yeah, thank you.
All right, they're going false. What are you saying, Scotch?
That was the truth.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yes.
What?
You're
You threw us off with your lies.
Oh,
right.
It was
Let
the
me-
truth, but you lied about the truth.
Can I just elaborate?
explain
There's a
yourself.
major detail in this that nobody asked me about, well, that you wouldn't know how to be fair. And that was that this whole thing took place whilst I lived in France. So it was in French and not in English.
Whereabouts in
And
France
make-
did you live?
Down near Bordeaux.
Oh right, okay.
But in French, the cat is Le Chat, and his name was Richard, which to someone who doesn't speak French, which I didn't at the time, sounds very similar. So
Yeah, see, what we needed is someone to be like, were you living in France at the time?
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
that's
that
exactly-
that's where you slipped up.
All right, cool. So that is a
Wow.
tie 2 episodes in a
Again.
row.
And tie, another tie.
Surely we've got to have a tiebreaker.
Yeah, we would if we
Ooh,
could
yeah.
think of something to do, but we
Yeah.
haven't. So
Maybe
Well, like
we'll do.
one quick 30-second say a lie, say a truth.
I mean, I've got nothing prepared. If somebody wants to just say
All right,
something,
James, let's do a rock paper scissors right now. No, I reckon we'll do something. We'll think of something.
We'll think
we
of
can maybe
something.
do it
we'll
next
think of
time.
something.
You know?
We promise next episode you won't get a tie.
All right. Sick.
Oh,
Cool. Congrats,
Thanks, everyone.
guys. Yeah, thank you
Congrats.
for joining.
Mate, that was good.
That was lovely.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week. This has been the What You Saying podcast. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers, guys.
This has been episode 2 of the What You Saying podcast. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us. Please remember to follow us on the social media.
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. Both are What You Saying PC. We don't tweet or post very often, but we will do when we get the ball rolling. So make sure you follow for more updates on there.
And if you've got any feedback or recommendations or any games or other ideas that you'd like to see us playing with the guests, then please let us know through those mediums that we just mentioned. How do I say that?
That was good. I quite like
was
that.
good, that
You started
works, yeah.
laughing at how stupid it
Yeah.
sounds.
Cool. All right. That's a wrap.
Thank you
Sweet.
for listening.
Good job, guys.
Good
See you
job.
next week.
Peace. Who's on your team today, Jack?
So I got Joe. Hey Joe, how you doing? Joe. So Joe, I'm with Joe. I swear down, I didn't make him up. Fuck.
Oh.
You know, No, you know what? No, I'm not with Joe. I'm going to start with my boy Ricky. Ricky, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm here at least.